On market nights, the valley walked by lantern light, alive with warmth and wonder. The night market unrolled like a ribbon, spices and songs filling the warm air. Melons stacked like moons, every stall glowing with someone's careful, tender flame. Kavi's lantern was often shy, burning boldly some nights, trembling faintly on others. He had made it with his uncle, clay, a braided wick, wire, and green glass. He loved how it turned the flame leaf green, like light filtered through living leaves. He loved less how it sputtered beside the bold torches other children carried proudly. On a thin moon night, Kavi's light seemed thinner still, fragile against the dark. He carried it to Ryan, the lantern keeper, beneath an ancient spreading sycamore tree. "Can I trade mine for a better one, just for tonight?" Kavi quietly asked. Ron warmed his hands over the glow and said, "Why trade it? It's yours." "Brightness changes," Ron said softly. "Better to tend the wick you have. Let your hands do the work," the keeper said, as young Kavi watched closely, ready to learn. Ron set out his tools with care, sliding a wooden screen to shelter the tiny flame from passing feet. "First, we ask what the flame needs," Ron said. Kavi lifted the green glass chimney carefully. Soot ringed the rim like a shadow. Kavi brushed gently, and gray petals of soot came away. The air smelled faintly sweet. Ron raised the wick with the small hook, frayed and crooked at the top. "Trim it like you trim your thoughts," Ron murmured. "Take only what is too much." Kavi snipped a sliver. The flame steadied, burning calm and even, no longer flickering wildly. A woman carrying herbs paused, cupping her palm to block a draft. "There," she said softly, and moved on. "Now the oil," Ron said. "Not a flood, just a drop, a breath, a weight." Kavi poured carefully. The flame drew the oil up, brightening like a chest filling with air, growing warm and full. "Let it learn how to stand," Rain added. Kavi's lantern glowed like a river stone at dusk. At his mother's stall, steam curled from dumplings. "Little things," Kavi smiled. "I cleaned, I trimmed, I waited."
Small care, again and again, made the market feel like something that held. Kavi returned to Ron's table, sometimes for help, sometimes just to rest his lantern out of the wind. When the flame went wild and smoky, he trimmed.
When it would not rise, the potter's daughter tilted the glass just right.
The baker cupped long hands to shelter the glow.
Kavi noticed how many palms there were, how many bodies could bend to give a small light a chance.
Then the rain came. The sycamore's leaves beat like hands on a drum. Stalls shook. People leaned in, shields to their flames. Kavi stepped into a doorway, faced the wall, and breathed.
He waited for the wick to catch up. Water beaded on the green glass. The light gathered itself. Small care, again and again. The light returned, a small pearl in its shell. A girl stumbled past, her lantern an empty bowl spilling rain.
Bring it under. We'll begin again.
I can't. I should have been ready.
No one keeps a flame through every storm. Come.
We have as much time as the flame needs. A truth learned beneath rain and flickering light. Kavi set his lantern safely by the table and lifted the reed brush, shaking off the cold rain. A girl approached, handing over her cup with trembling fingers, eyes wide with quiet urgency. "I'm Amina," she muttered softly. "Kavi," he replied, calm and steady as the rain around them. First they emptied the water, then dried the bowl, then waited, letting patience lead the way. Amina whispered they had no time, eyes darting toward the darkened market stalls beyond the rain. Ron's voice stayed steady. "We have as much time as the flame needs, nothing more." The coal kissed the new wick, and Amina breathed with the small fire, matching its every reach. They held their hands as walls around the flame until it learned this entirely new world. Tomorrow easier, some later day harder, but you will always know what to do anyway. After the rain, the market hushed, but never dimmed. People grouped lights into shared glowing pools. Kavi and Amina walked the square, lanterns modest, feet sure, witnessing small care made constant. Seasons passed, and Kavi's hand grew steady under the lantern's glow. Some nights, his lantern rose high and clear, as if it had a song to sing. Other nights, the light seemed to sleep while he walked the quiet roads. On those nights, he would sit at Ron's table without words. The keeper would nudge the screen closer, and a neighbor would pause with quiet eyes. Clean, trim, a drop, and wait. The old rhythm, always new. When Ron's beard turned from smoke to snow, he placed the hook and brush in Kavi's hands. "You know what matters," he said, his eyes soft and certain. "What if I forget?" Kavi asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "You'll remember by doing," Ron replied, with a quiet, steady smile. "And when you don't, someone will set out their palm and remind you." On market nights, children came, ready to trade their shy lanterns for brighter ones. Kavi listened and watched their faces in green and amber light. "Brightness changes," he told them gently. "Better to tend the wick you have." Together they brushed away soot, trimmed only what was too much, and shared a drop of oil. They waited, and in that waiting, flames found their place again. The market breathed, sometimes soft, sometimes bright, but always alive, and every small light, tended with care, was enough to see the path.